All right. Well, welcome to another segment of My DH Life, another segment of Living in Dominion as a Dominionaire. My name is Apostle Steve Surgum, as you can see on the screen, and it truly is an honor, to share, what God is doing in our lives and what God is doing with Dominionaire, because it's about living in dominion in many different aspects of life. As you can see, on the screen, it talks about mindset, financial, health and wellness, legal, and crypto and blockchain. And today, I'm very excited. For the guest that we have with us today, Mr. Mark Rosales. He is literally a God gift to this earth, guys, and a God gift to my DH life. He really is. This gentleman, it was just a divine connection, and his passion for the Lord, his passion for just transformation and bringing truth. But more importantly, the gifts that God has blessed him with. I mean, he's an innovator, a formulator, an inventor, a manufacturer, you name it. You know how God drops like a blueprint in one's spirit, and he gives you an idea, but with that idea comes the whole blueprint. And with our guest today, he gets the blueprint. I mean, in his mind, he sees it, he knows it. God just has blessed him with a unique talent, and that talent really is about saving lives. Believe it or not, he's very big into health and wellness. And I don't want to take up all of his time, but health and wellness is there to me, and we'll talk more about that later. Why it's really there to me, and when he talks a little bit about some of the things that he's done and the amazing invention God has given him to be a quote unquote a gift unto the earth is just amazing. But without further ado, let me welcome Mr. Mark Rosales. Mark, thank you for being with us. I know you have a busy day, and it's always a joy, because I'm really just, I don't have words, man. I'm just really excited about what God is doing in your life and what's. To come. But thank you for being with us. Welcome.
Well, Steve, you don't have to call me Mister. Come on, brother. I appreciate that. As you're, I don't know, giving me introduction. I said, are we talking about the right guy? We have someone else coming on. Well, hey, first of all, for all of you there at Dominionaire, I'm really excited to be a part of this. It's really our time. I'd like to just start off. I'm a firstborn. I'm North American. My parents are Central American. Born and raised here in San Francisco. I've been married going on 34 years, 3 boys. Not like you, Lucky Steve, that has grandkids. I'm not seeing that yet. I have a grand dog. But where this all lies and where it started was something a mentor of mine told me years ago, happened to be a man of faith. He said, make use of your suffering. Well, in my case, folks, just to be transparent and able to be vulnerable with all of you, I have a daughter that's autistic, and in the spectrum of autism, she's now 24. In fact, she's here today. She's visiting us today. She lives in a group home. But when she hit 15, 16 years of age, she has 2 older brothers. I mean, we knew she had autism, or as that condition, so to speak. And she was on medications and so forth. And she gained a lot of weight, like 40, 50 pounds in a matter of a couple months. And it was about controlling her behavior. And just like and you said something really key there, Steve, it's all about connection. Things will happen a certain way, and it's really maybe God being anonymous, but he's not so anonymous. When you're in need,
that's right,
he will show up in your life. Well, we were in our greatest need in probably one of the biggest breakdowns of our life that tested everything. And it had to do with a young lady, 15, 16, but people were saying, oh, she's just hormonal. She's a teenager. You're going to have a lot of white hairs from a daughter. I'm like, I have a few from a couple boys. They've been good boys, obviously. But anyway, she's nonverbal. So in the spectrum, if you were to look at it, she's at the bottom end. So she doesn't understand time like we would. Doesn't really have an ego. Doesn't know how to tie her shoe, but can work an iPad like you can't believe. She understands we're going to pick her up, but she can't tell you or understand the difference between a headache or a stomach ache. So my wife, really credit to her, we tried everything. Diet, supplements, everything. And she wasn't very, responsive to most of it. Who would be when you're young and with this condition situation? So what it got to the point was she was going 2 to 3 days without sleep. And she'd literally pass out, sleep for a couple hours, and then go again. I had 2 assistants at the time that were working for my business. I had to sell my business. And it was the first time and only time my wife was concealing something that was going on without me knowing. But I knew something was going on. For the first time, our daughter was attacking her. Now, she had done things like put her hand through a TV. Not fortunately, didn't break anything but the TV. She had some outburst behavior that were just all of a sudden 1 minute laughing, 1 minute kicking you, hurting herself. So with lack of sleep, hallucinations, all this. So we were folks at the end of our rope, make use none of them the first suffering, but us suffering, seeing her go through this. 9 different medications. At one point, she goes to a special school. We were called on a 5150, which is, psychiatric evaluation. But of course, a lot of people even then thrown a lot more. They didn't know how to control her. So I had to see my daughter get bound into the ambulance.
Wow.
She wouldn't harm anybody. Fortunately, the paramedics were handsome because she does like good-looking guys. I mean, she at least said, hey, I'm going to be on my behavior. And she ended up being in the tank with us. They call it the tank at the hospital. But it was at that time, all this was going on. It was around the Thanksgiving. It'll be 10 years now. So it started that a friend in England, a Christian brother named John, said, you need to talk to this guy. So I call him up. He's in Malaysia. And this was a few days before Thanksgiving. And literally Thanksgiving ended early that day because I caught a flight from San Francisco to Malaysia, was stopped. It's 18 hours flying. 3 days with him. And I met a man named Dr. Carlos Orozco and Ian and Greg and some other people. And because what he was telling me on the phone, I said, I'm on my way. And he wouldn't even let me stay in a hotel. I stayed in his home. And he started telling me about electromagnetic fields. And I live in San Francisco, folks. So most of these things I kind of laugh at. I'm always open to them. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not in the mystic realm. I have a covenant with our Holy Father. This is not mysticism. This is not woo-woo. This is a real thing made by man. Although I am electromagnetic, you are electromagnetic. It's in the quantum realm, which is, if you really think about it, like many scientists and friends of mine, could be atheists, but they still can't figure out what was the bang or what is behind what we see or don't see. So this electromagnetic field that is a man-made construct, this is before 5G. This is 3G, 2G. I live in the base of Silicon Valley. And it hit me so hard, and I felt so guilty for the longest time that I still have a hard time not getting emotional about it, because I have always lived in my home. I've always had an office, like you, Steve. We're entrepreneurs, so I was networking and doing formulas, but I always had an office in the home, and my office right next to my daughter. Now, back then, remember when the screens, the back of it was this big? Remember that? I mean, now we have
I
flat
remember
screens.
those,
Remember that?
the tube. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
remember
tube,
those.
and then we had towers. And I did back then. I had it. It looked like NASA. I had 2 or 3 screens. I have now my laptop and what I'm in front of. Well, that I left going on all night next to my daughter's bed. I thought we were the coolest because we had a line in the house that I had super fast internet, as though that really mattered.
Right.
Wow, I'm really connected now. I can move things and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the point was, I had no idea that that was how my daughter was reacting. Think of it like an allergy, so to speak. Like if
Hmm.
you ever want to see something kind of, it's not funny, but if you gave me by accident, or I ate by accident a crab or a shrimp, my lip would swell up. I'd get into hives. And there was a movie called Hitch with, anyway, this famous actor, I forgot his name, Will Smith, and his face is all
Hmm.
like that, like
Oh,
elephant. Well, I get that way too, because that's a reaction to your body. Well, the
right.
reactions from EMF is a real thing, folks, and now it's only getting worse with 5G, with satellites, where everyone's going, yeah, cool, we're
So,
gonna go 6G, 7G.
so yeah, Mark. So EMF, what does that mean? EMF, what does
It
that stand
means,
for?
it means electromagnetic field. Everything produces
Hmm.
that. I mean, the Earth is electromagnetic field, but then when we refer to EMF, we're really talking about that. Here, I'm just going to hold up my phone. That it's what travels the signals. So, do you remember the
Hmm.
days where we had like 1G, 3G? Remember from the
Yes,
not the same age, Steve? Remember we had bricks and big
yes.
antennas and
Law
and
antennas. Yep, I
oh,
remember those.
it dropped. We got paid the minute.
I think,
Okay,
I think.
but they also, you and I are from an era that we had one phone in the house, which was a rotary dial, and the big
That,
thing that was to get a big cord so you'd have
that's
some
true.
privacy. We had one thing against the wall. Okay, so now if you look at wireless and
Hmm.
wireless communications, literally these are computers. They have more computing power than the first trips up to the spaceships. They have them there. It's basically it's a multimedia device. These are weapons of mass distraction. And my daughter doesn't have a cell phone, never had a pager, but she has an iPad. But what we do is we protect it. So I want to land one point to all of you folks, because I'm going to answer the question about EMF. It's an epigenetic issue. It's epigenetics. It's an environmental, like an e-smog, if you want to look at it that way. So where apparently there's a spill in California, we're going to see the remnants of that for a while. Fortunately, some natural disaster. Well,
Hmm.
I consider now Vegas a natural disaster because there's 5G towers on every hotel. It's
Mm,
everywhere. So you could
yes,
choose uh, not to turn it off in your home, Steve. Okay, I live in a
right.
suburb. I could shut off all of mine, but I can't shut off the electrical grid. I can't shut off my neighbors. I can't shut off the satellites overhead. It's all around us, and it's bombarding us all the time, 24/7. So my thing was, here
Right.
is a young lady where her brain was developing. She was 15, 16, 14, and it was creating and altering her. It was disturbing her. Now, you don't have to be autistic to have that. Why is it that so many things are on the rise?
Hmm.
There was just something on Facebook, and there was an outage, recently about Medium. Like, yeah, fine, whatever. But the thing is, it's have respect for it. What I ended up doing with a team of scientists, and I have a couple videos. If you want to, I don't know if we could share or whatever, but there's one I produced for the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last couple years, I started working what's called harmony and earthing and grounding.
Hmm.
I give you just from nature, okay? So
Hmm.
as above, so below. The trees, when lightning strikes, you notice they don't really hit trees. I'm sorry, they don't hit cars or buildings or planes. But what do they hit? Trees.
Trees.
Trees are
Hmm.
ground. So literally, like think of trees as the hair, like on our head. They're all antennas, and
Hmm.
they're also grounded, because those are
Right.
specific frequencies. So that's why most of the time, unfortunately, it's caused fires and so forth here in California where I live. But all across, don't, and they also say, don't get into the water, get out of the pool, get out of the ocean. You get hit by electrical. Well, we are electrical and we are water. We're 70% water. Electricity and water don't mix, not a good combination. Now,
Hmm.
what the phones, and not just phones, your router, even though you don't hold your router to you, I hope you don't, or your smart meters, or the navigation in your car, your stereos. God forbid you have a microwave. We took ours out 10, 12 years ago, and I won't even eat anything that's microwaved. I just tell people I'm allergic to cancer. I don't need to radiate my food. Okay.
Right.
That's non-ionizing. Today, let's look at it as an orientation, because what Steve and I have agreed is we are in alignment in
Mm.
values, principles. Yes, we're there to support people, because part of that comes in education. As I'm looking at, you have mindset, financial, health and wellness, legal, crypto, and blockchain. I want to put this in the realm of prevention, because health is not the absence of symptoms. Health is vitality. It's actually energy, and vibration, energy, frequency is basically the code that God uses. Ultimately, if you have energy, you have vibrancy, you can add life to years and years to life. But I'll tell you what isn't. We have to disrupt that. When you're on your phone and the heat that it emits, or putting it on you, it is using you.
Hmm.
You became the antenna to your devices, and not just the phone. That's just the most popular. I have them
Mhm.
on my laptop. My daughter has two on her iPad. They don't tell you. iPad have 5 antennas in there.
Hmm.
We shut
Wow.
it off because she doesn't need to have it. We downloaded her movies so she could do that, and we
Right.
limit her access. In fact, please, laptops aren't meant to be on your laptop, on your lap.
Mm.
These become the new babysitters, and we're okay
Mhm.
with kids doing this and holding it, and it's not okay. So I have a few
Mhm.
videos. What we've done is we've created a hologram that lasts 12 months, 1 year. I have them upside down, but it doesn't matter. You just put them on the back of your phone. We have a way that you
Mhm.
can actually demonstrate it. I know that Steve, his whole entire family are protected to mitigate or harmonize the signals coming in that are man-made construct to not affect your corporal body. That's called a
Mhm.
morphic field. We don't say aura. People refer to chakras. That's fine, but those are endocrine energy points. We do have an energy. We do have a flow. We do have a barrier of protection that actually connects us to Earth. So we've been patented since 2019. We've placed over 400,000 globally. But here's what
Wow.
was missing in that. I'm not a platform guy. Steve is. When I talk with Steve, he says, well, we have a platform of like-minded, like-hearted
Mhm.
collective of people that put God first. And I said, sounds good to me, because we're not going to do infomercials on this. We don't sell it on Amazon. Not a fan, although I buy some things from, I try not to. I'm here to support local communities. I'm here to be, so for our whole thing was about alignment and then assignment. So
Yes.
these are factory direct. They run about $10 for each one. Think about that. We spend more on covers. This one, by the way, here's a quick tip, ladies and gentlemen, don't use plastic. This is
Hmm.
made of wood and leather. It's a better thing than using plastic, because that warms up and that is affecting you. So,
Oh, really? Wow.
yes, I know a lot of people have them. I use only leather or wood. You can get them. It costs a little bit more, but it's actually for your protection, even if you use the EMF shield. Now, everything, ladies and gentlemen, is plug and play. And Steve knows this. I have organizations we've had about 40,000 police globally. We're more of an affiliate program. It's just really, and practitioners get them wholesale. And I have, probably about 700 across the globe that they just buy them in bulk, and it's just kind of a one-off. They may sell 1 or 2 of these. They come 9 to a sheet. That's only one of our main products. But why it's important today, folks, is 5G is only going to get higher. I know there's a lot of stuff out there circulating about this certain thing that's out there. I never talk about it because I don't want to give it energy, because I don't think, folks, I think things could be taught more than caught. if you understand and follow the real science behind it, the science that's not funded by the telecom, pharma, or other ones, but real thought leaders. I mean, here I've got the book. I should have pulled it out. Dr. Mercola has a book called EMF'd. Okay, it's a bad word. I have a whole library of people that have been talking about this as a real thing. Now, I don't watch TV because now it's
I
all
don't watch.
5G. We got more 5G. Yeah, yeah, great. We got more download speeds. Well, this you can Google. Look up what 5G is running at. It runs at 60 hertz. Why all of a sudden are people having a hypoxia effect when they take a pulse oximeter that their oxygen is going down? Okay, folks, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy realist. And I saw that when we were able to control my daughter's environment or exposure to this electromagnetic EMF grid, it goes under
Mhm.
EMF, but folks, it's actually low frequency and high frequency. It also includes some of the electrical towers. But this is all around us, and people are being very numb about it. For you folks that have kids is anyone 18 and younger, but even there, look at how this is affecting their social. And right now we're all up against it, but we have a community here with Dominion. We've never in the history of mankind been more connected. I can know exactly what the weather is at Steve. I know exactly what the crypto coin is doing 1 minute to the next, or that there was an earthquake on the other side of the world. We know instantaneously what's going on, and yet we're most disconnected ever. Can you imagine? I'm with Steve.
Wow,
We're having dinner, and we're both on our phones. We're not even looking at each
exactly.
other. All right.
Absolutely right.
Well, now it's okay to use some of the technology, but it accelerates our aging. I know it's going to sound weird. They're getting older inside. The generation that Steve and I have, let's say our parents, they didn't grow up with this stuff, not at
Never
all.
did.
We sat down to have dinner. We'd light a candle, maybe open up a bottle of, or my parents did, a bottle of wine. Maybe have a glass or two, and that was it. It's home cooked. But life and technology is overpassing us. I'm not going to go into artificial intelligence, but it's always here. It's already here. It's all based on technology. Let's get back to grounded. Let's get back down to earth. How nerdy am I about that? Maybe it's not nerdy. I read from a Bible book. I don't read from a tablet. I know a lot of people do that. I just can get into it. And I can't mark up I don't have an iPad. I have a computer. That's what I'm saying. I have to the digital world. I need brochures. I need paper. This is
You-
the EMF Shield brochure, by the way.
yeah,
With,
so you can touch and yep, I hear
yeah,
you.
I
Oh,
need
that's good.
to
Oh,
mark it up.
nice.
We have what's called imported from Earth. We have things on this. We have 100% money back guarantee. A lot of people reported that even the behavior of their teenagers has been improved. Okay, that's just kind of a broad spectrum say. But what I could say from my daughter doesn't give you feedback. We've used this technology with her now going on 8 years. It took 2 years to create. I can't say enough about Dominion because this fits in everything that they're up to not just prevention, but to prepare. And of course, underlying all of this is our faith in Jehovah. So, with that, brother, if there's any questions, I don't know how this all works. I've never used this one, but I do have a video. I have two
Yeah.
videos I could show you.
Is yeah, I don't on your screen does it show a share button down there? I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be able to share that video from there.
Okay, let me see. It says share screen.
Mm-hmm. I'll
Uh,
let you know what it's doing on my end here.
sharing screen works best on a computer. Got it. Okay, so I'm doing this for the first time. Okay, so I guess I'm doing it right there. Hold on, mate. Let me just put it right here. I'm going to reduce this one here. Okay, we should be seeing ourselves there, right?
Okay, yeah, we're on there now. So guys, we're doing this for the first time in terms of guest sharing a screen. Let me see if I could see on.
Can you see like the map of the Earth there?
Let me see here if I could see. Oh, my Facebook is frozen.
Good thing we practiced this beforehand.
Right.
The ink is still wet, folks. We're working on this, but are you able to see the screen?
Facebook. Well, I can't on my end. I'm having someone look because for whatever reason my Facebook seemed to have locked up on me here. See here. So
Okay, so oh, it's asking about permission. May not work, mate. Still there?
okay. Okay, I'm here. Yeah. So it may not. Yeah, I had someone check for me to see, but it was just showing you and I. So hey, we tried, but we'll do. The Zoom. Oh, let's see here. Oop, I think he exit himself. He'll have to come back in the room here. So just give it. So while Mark is trying, we were trying to get him to show his screen. He wanted to share some awesome stuff with us, but he'll be back. He actually exited himself, so you have to click the link and get back. But Mark Rosales, his while we're waiting for him to come back, his part with myDHLife, which I'm really, really excited, guys. He will be helping us with our health and wellness products. And so the focus is going to be really, he talked a little bit about EMF and he talked about the grounding and the earthing, and it's really important. And for me, just understanding the importance of it, because we have to go back to the creator and from the very beginning and understand how things are created, right? And if you don't know, as we go on, we'll share and teach more about the earth magnetic field and the alpha brainwave and the magnetic field. And, there's a correlation, guys, and there's a reason. God knows what he's doing. He created the body, created the earth, he created the heavens, he created it all. But there's a connection. And what man has done is unconnect God from us with everything. Think about it. Before shoes was invented, right? They were working bare feet, right on the earth. So the earth magnetic field with our alpha brainwave, same frequency, grounded, and think about healing without even thinking about it, right? God created a healing mechanism just from us walking bare feet in the earth. And the man invented shoe and separated that barrier there, created a barrier, so these are just little things that, as we move on, we're going to educate you on, and that way you have the knowledge, because see, knowledge is power, they say, but applied knowledge, once you have it and you apply it, and this is where Mark is passionate about, is bringing the awareness, to people so they understand, because we've now, like you said, when we grew up, I mean, we had a road. I used to have fun with that thing, Mark. I remember I used to go and let it go and watch it unwind. Oh my God, I remember doing those, having fun with that thing. But look, guys, we have like my granddaughter's age, and some of the younger ages. They're literally just being born in this new society, this environment. They don't know any better. It seems like the minute they come out the womb, a cell phone is put in their hand, and that's the life. But we have to educate them of the harm it's actually causing. And this, Mark shared, the shields, which we'll be offering through myDHLife with the health and wellness pack. And there's so much more he's got, man. I'm just excited. I mean, he saved lives with so much formulation. Matter of fact, I take one of them, the CardioWare, and it's just an amazing product. And we have so many, he's got so many others. He's got the Earthen um, card and the app, but we're going to be introducing more, and there it is right there. Mark, just share a little bit about what that I was talking about, the earth, and so just share just a little bit what that is.
They're all probably wondering, is this guy can't even run well, this I StreamYard or Zoom. Folks, interlaid in everything that I've been doing is going back to nature. Because remember, God made nature, and we're
That's
really
right.
disconnected from that. And so I love what you said, Steve. You everything we've talked about. You're resonating and you're saying it to the T. There is a movement that started a number of years ago called earthing.com. You can check it out on YouTube, things like that. But don't buy anything. You don't need to. What I've been focusing on with that was enter a convergence that what if we can earth and ground our water? Because
Mm,
remember, back in the day, way back in the day, they didn't have bottled water. I drank out of a hose, ladies and gentlemen. I drank when it was warm, right? Because
mhm.
the cold was out, and I'd just drink.
Right.
I'd eat dirt when I was younger, and things
Oh,
like
eat dirt.
that. I
Wow.
know, yeah. Well, we were playing around. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah. But hey, there's
You
no
know,
harm. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, my mom
Yeah.
would get mad at me because I went to bed with muddy feet, and I just, you know what I mean? I mean, oh my
Yep.
God,
Yep.
that's kind of where I grew up in the Bay Area, but I used to go to Central America. And I know you're from the Caribbean,
Caribbean. Yeah.
yeah,
Trinidad. Yes.
Trinidad. So
Mhm.
it's part of your culture. You jump in the ocean, you walk around barefoot, you're getting sun, which is
That's right.
that photonic energy frequency from the
Mhm.
sun. Very important for our health. Creates D3 naturally. And then, of course, you're listening to music, maybe singing music and maybe dancing. But then all the earthing is that we live now in a world that, I mean, think about the last time you went camping, ladies and gentlemen, how you felt. You were communing with the earth. You were on a sleeping bag. You weren't on, let's say, right here, I've got wood floors, but it's not grounded. Just below that, that's where
Mhm.
the ground is. So we are very much overexposing ourselves, especially you, Steve, and I, because we are in times in front of the camera a few hours a day. Well, more than a few hours. We're doing Zooms, we're doing this, we're doing that. To counterbalance a man made construct, folks, deep breathing, meditation, quiet, and take off your. Now, it's easier for me to say because I'm in California. I know you're in the Pacific Northwest, there in Washington, when you got a little snow or cold on the ground, but you won't get sick. Just do it for 20 minutes. Recharge your body. That's the way God intended. How did they do it back in the day? They didn't have shoes, they used leather. They used, I mean, wood. They used all kinds of things that were natural, not this tennis shoes and all these other, plastics and things like that. So as we're able to have connection with that, I'm telling you, it's the way we were designed to be, not indoors. That's why there's a great earthing video that I produced a number of years ago. All this is going to be branded with Dominion because it's really, once you see it, it's common sense. It's like, whoa, it's a reminder. And now a whole shift in a lifestyle and actually not punishing or limiting what they have with the phones. That part as well. They have access to about everything there. It's that you need to know that this right here is as hazardous, honest to goodness, right here, coming from me, as
Mhm.
alcohol and other vices that we're letting this get past in our society and our culture. So, it doesn't replace me being, I enjoy being in fellowship with Steve because we could talk about things that matter, our family, our faith. As you said, the application of knowledge. Well, it's just like faith. Without works, it ain't nothing. So this is just a way of paying it forward, protecting yourself and protecting everyone because this technocratic society that's being developed,
Mhm.
it's not good, folks. Let me put it in this way, folks. There's a lot of distractions out there. That's all you need to do. Distract someone. There's a lot of separation. There's enough of that out there. That's what these things do, turbocharged.
Wow. Amazing. I'm really excited, for this collaboration, our friendship and what you bring to the members of my DH Life. Because one of the things, when this concept was downloaded into my spirit was, how in regaining dominion, one major aspect a lot of us really don't think about is our health, and wellness, because that's very important, guys. We have one vehicle, right? One temple, one body, one. And if we don't take care of it, if we don't be mindful, and if we don't get the proper information, you see, because there's so much misinformation out there too. And so it's really getting a great understanding, and just helping our members to really focus on certain areas. But I'm really excited, Mark, for this journey. As we launch, we're in the launch 2.0 right now. I'm very excited about it. We're about a week away, and our members have been asking, and what we've created, Mark, is just a global community. We've created a culture where anyone's welcome. You got baggage, bring it. We've got something for you. How could we help you? Are you struggling with the mind? Because it starts right there. Even that, it starts with the renewing of our mind. And what's going on in this world right now? I mean, a lot of people are struggling. I mean, I haven't looked at a percentage, but they said the suicide rate has gone up. I mean, people are just can't cope. They can't deal with it. Only way out is just take their own lives, and it's unfortunate. But there's ways we can cope with it, and we're here to help you. Anything you're struggling with. We look around and we know what businesses having to shut down. Well, business shuts down, people lose their jobs, and if they lose their jobs, they can't pay their bill, and that creates now a whole another series of problems. And what is that? What happens? You start stressing. That has an impact on your health, and now your health goes down, and you've just got a trickle effect taking place. So at Dominion Air Lifestyle, at our community, we're here to help you in every aspect. And health right now is one of the most important focal point, and should be if it's not. I mean, many of you might be comfortable and think like, if you would have literally, I'm just saying, before the pandemic to now, when you get on a scale, I'm quite sure you probably gain a few pounds. I know I have for sure, right? How many of us are exercising anymore? And so just little things like that, but it's things you can do. We could utilize some of the technologies like Mark has, to at least prevent, slow down, if not eliminate altogether, and that's what I'm most excited about. We have legal training. We don't think about the legal aspect of life in general, but guys, I've heard so many stories, and I witnessed so many stories of not having proper document in place, or businesses and partnership goes sideways, or not a will being written, and then families fighting over things. It's just so many aspects, but that's just one little aspect. And then of course we got a crypto and blockchain, just to give you the awareness of what's going on, just so you can do your own homework and your own studies. But I'm so excited, Mark. It's really a pleasure. This is our first live we've done together. There'll be many more coming, where Mark will be working with us and the members, and sharing more of what he's doing, and then going more in detail of different preventative measures we can take to help eliminate what he's talking about, these the microwave radiation and the radiation coming off these guys right here. And he made a good point, which I know a lot of us do, is put the laptop on our lap. I don't, but I know people that actually put the laptop right on the lap and work with it, or have the phone plugged in and it's on them,
Yeah.
right, talking, and it's plugged in the socket. Man, you're like a electrical conduit, seriously. So it's just little things like this that he's going to be sharing, and that we don't really think about. So, Mark, any parting words you want to leave the word? We have many members that are watching, and many will be watching the rebroadcast, and share, any parting words that you like with them.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't figure out the video thing, but that'll be coming.
So we'll have another, yes.
It's one of these things that in the 21st century, there's so many things that we're looking to prevent illness and so forth. I really, this you could do anyway without the technology, is just start noticing how much time you're on your phone, on your computers. I understand we're doing this now for work. We're not able to travel not able to come up to see Steve and just hang out, and yeah, so there's certain good things about the technology, like anything, but it's moderation. It's being aware how much it's actually controlling our lives. Remember, these are all applications. These are all codes. This is all
Hmm.
data. Do you know that now data is the new economy? Look at where
Hmm.
all the
Right.
billionaires are. Are they doing great things? No, they're just moving our information. They're hearing us. They're listening us. I mean, I noticed this a couple years ago. I'd say, you know what? I want to go to Costa Rica. I looked it up, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these pop-up ads on go to Costa Rica or look at this, do that. It's like, how'd they know that? Are they reading my mind? Are they listening to my phone calls? Oh, I was on the information there. So why don't we turn that around? Why don't we create our platform based on what really matters, our
Hmm.
eternal life and protecting and serving our fellow man, the humanity of that. I put people over profits any day. These folks don't. Yes, I'm not good throwing away my phone. I still need it, but not so much that it's taken over for me. I also, like I said, developed a great respect for it because I know what it has done for my daughter and the literally thousands of autistic families. I'd say it's families because not if you just have one in your family, then the whole family is working with it and coping with that. But they have a lot of sensitivity to it. So this is part of a whole system here, ladies and gentlemen. That's just one spoke in so many things that matter to us. Like as Steve said, it's stressors. There's 5 different kinds of stress, but believe it or not, the phones and electronic EMF, e-smog is a major stressor to your health. Even your attitude or ability to sleep or self-heal. That's a whole new concept is self-heal. If you have certain components like nutrition and other things, not just mine, I know that Steve has a collective of wonderful people that can contribute to that. I'm not saying that this is the one way, but if you don't protect epigenetically your environment. And we know that. Like if I can't say, okay, I love God, and then all of a sudden go to a strip joint in Vegas, is that coherent with my faith? That's an environment. I don't go to. I'm just using it as an out. It's an environment that's not conducive to what is in alignment with the Lord. True.
That's right.
Like if I go to an area, if I go to a football game and hang out with the guys that want to fight everyone, it's environmental. The environment influences more. And we know this now in medicine and in the human biology. It's not DNA, it's what is activating our genes. It's environmental. Let's
And that
control.
is so true. That is so true. Yes, it's about the environment. You're absolutely right. Yep, you're absolutely right. So wow, this is amazing. We can go on for another hour, but we'll hold it. We'll save it for once we have our launch 2.0 and open it up to the world. This is really exciting, guys. Because as we continue to bring good practices and empower people with knowledge, this is what it's about. And one thing, just for the ones who didn't know, before the millionaire lifestyle concept launched or came about, originally first, the foundation, One Vision, One Heart, was birthed since 2012 and became a reality in 2017. And it's about a global transformation, transforming communities. Just in, matter of fact, if you go to onevisiononeheart.org, you'll see a little what we did. In March, we fed about 800 families, 600 children. These were indigenous people in 3 different villages. But this is what it's about. We're blessed to be a blessing. So everything we do, right? You purchase any of our packages, literally 10% goes right into our foundation for global work. We're doing some work in South Africa. We'll be doing some work later on in the year in India. Here in the U.S., we're working with the homeless female veterans. You won't believe that there's so many, but they are. So what we're doing is making change, guys, and DH Life is about change. As you can see, each one of our product is about bringing change in one life and helping, improve and helping in every aspect that we can help. And so this is the foundation of what we're doing. So it's a global movement. It's a culture. It's an environment. It's a global community we're building. And we're very happy with our team. We're happy with the ones that are helping us bring these great practices like Mark, with health and wellness and everyone else that we have. So I'm very excited about it, Mark, and I'm really excited that you're part of this process. You're part of, because you are gifted with, what you're gifted with, and that's health and wellness. It's helping take care of this temple, helping take care of the body, and I'm really excited for this journey here that we're about to embark on.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll see you on the next broadcast of Live the Dominion Lifestyle. Mark, thank you. God bless you, brother. God bless everyone. And let's continue to live in dominion. Okay. Bye for now.